The townsfolk of Black Hollow always spoke in hushed tones about Widow Gertie. No one knew her real age, but they swore she had been old for as long as anyone could remember. She lived alone in a shack at the edge of the woods, far from the main road, where the trees grew too thick and the sky always seemed a shade darker. If you got too close, they said, you'd see her standing in the overgrown yard, gripping a rusted machete in her knotted hands, her face a road map of deep, withering lines. No one dared approach, not after the stories. Legend had it that Gertie's husband, a brute of a man named Tobias, disappeared nearly 50 years ago. He was a drunk, a violent one, and the few who knew them in their youth recalled the bruises she used to hide beneath her sleeves. Then one day, he simply vanished. Some said he ran off, others that he drowned in the bog after one too many bottles of whiskey. But there were whispers that Gertie had put that machete to work, carving her way to freedom in the dead of night. No one could prove it. No one wanted to. Yet somehow her land remained cursed. People who strayed too close, whether by accident or foolish curiosity, were never seen again. Hunters, travelers, even a few reckless teens looking for a thrill. They would enter the tree line near Widow Gertie's shack, and the forest would swallow them whole. So when young Michael Carter took a dare to sneak up to her porch one cold October night, the town held its breath. Michael was the kind of boy who never backed down. 16, tall for his age and full of the reckless courage only youth provides. His friends watched from a safe distance as he crept down the dirt path leading to her house. The moon was high, illuminating the gnarled branches that reached for him like skeletal fingers. The air smelled of damp earth and rotting leaves. As he reached the front steps, he hesitated. The old wooden door was slightly ajar. A single lantern flickered inside, casting trembling shadows along the walls. A gust of wind pushed the door open farther. The room beyond was sparse, just a wooden table, a single chair, and a fireplace that hadn't been lit in years. Dust coated every surface except for one, the gleaming, sharpened blade of a machete resting atop the table. Then he heard it, a slow, deliberate shuffle behind him. Michael turned just in time to see Widow Gertie emerging from the shadows, her ancient eyes glinting in the dim light. Her voice was as dry as brittle leaves when she spoke. "Come to see if the stories are true, boy?" Michael stumbled backward, his heart hammering in his chest. I didn't mean..." She raised a single, gnarled finger to her lips. "Shh! You don't have to explain. They all come eventually." And then she lunged. The last thing Michael Carter saw was the gleam of the widow's blade.